This is your last opportunity to make life-changing gains in this cryptocurrency cycle within the next year. What's going on, guys? It's Greeny here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, yes guys, we're diving deep into the cryptocurrency market. We're analyzing the charts, analyzing the fundamentals, and talking about how you can actually change your life for the rest of your life with crypto for the next year. If you like my content, guys, please subscribe down below. Smash the like button as well because it helps me grow and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to check out my trading group, guys. We talk about analysis like this every single day. We take on trades every single day across memecoins, altcoins, leverage, NFTs, ordinals, runes, DeFi even in the channel as well. So if you're keen to check that out, look at the whop.com link down below for further details. All right, guys, here's the video. Bitcoin is starting to become a must-have asset in everybody's portfolio worldwide. And throughout this video, guys, we're going to analyze the current cryptocurrency market because right now is probably the last best opportunity that you have to make life-changing gains, not only in the next bull cycle, so this one that we're currently in, but over the next 15, 20, 30, 50 years, okay? Because where we are right now is before any other conversations of full-on adoption. Now, as you can see here, Bitcoin at $60,000 is sitting comfortably as number 10 in the top assets worldwide. Now, it's always been compared to as digital gold, okay? But what separates it from something like gold is so many aspects. So obviously you got a store of wealth that is digital. So in other words, you don't have to lug it around, okay, like physical gold. Similarly, gold has an increasing supply. You can go out and mine it, okay? Bitcoin will always only have a certain amount of Bitcoin. So that's super bullish, guys, from two fundamental standpoints. Now, take a step back and let's zoom out and consider and analyze essentially where we currently are in relative to previous last cycles. So if we have a look at current cycles, guys, we've obviously been in this range for a period of 3 months. So if you have a look at this, I'm still not bearish until we start to close below this sort of 60 to 55K level. If we start to considerably close on the daily and then obviously on the weekly, then it's more than likely that we get even more of an opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin and Ethereum and probably Solana as my third top pick for the next sort of 6 months in the year. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at the moment. And throughout this video, I'm going to analyze why this is a life-changing opportunity because not only is it going to change lives in the next year, guys, if not year and a half, depending on how long this bull market lasts, but you've got to take a step back and think about how long do you actually think Bitcoin's going to be around? And for me, guys, I think it's going to be a life changer for generations to come. I think honestly, it could reach hundreds of thousands of dollars within a 10 to 20 year period. So now you can get it on sale, as you can see live on the screen here, under $60,000. So opportunities like this don't come around a lot. Now, a lot of people I know, a lot of people miss this accumulation range here, guys. If we just draw it really simply, okay, this was the accumulation range of the bear market, and a lot of people miss this rally now, and we haven't had an opportunity like this for a very long time. So what I'm looking at is consolidation. Now, obviously, when we take a step back and we consider the halving, okay, this cycle is a lot different because we had the ETF narrative really drive Bitcoin to an all-time high before its halving. Now that is extremely bullish because we never actually made in the previous cycles a all-time high until post-halving. So this cycle is extremely different. Now that led me to thinking that potentially this cycle could front run. In other words, it'll be a shorter cycle and maybe we top out at the end of this year. However, consolidation here, both pre-halving and post-halving, is starting to show me that no, we're on track for considering similar life cycle lengths like the last few. So if we have a look right now, guys, we are within this range. Now, if I do take a look back, what I want to show you is a few things in this chart. As you can see, this was last cycle. So I've marked out all the previous halvings, okay, because I want to show you how long it does take post-halving before Bitcoin does start to break above that previous high. So if we have a look at the last cycle, so this is where the halving was. It didn't break out until 3 months later. So in theory, guys, we still have, it was in April, we still could go all the way deep into July and August, okay, before we actually start to make all-time highs once again. And obviously right now we're starting to see that sellers are starting to step in because they are growing impatient. consolidation. That is in fact the time to become greedy, guys. The most simplest form of alpha that I can always provide is buy during fear, okay, and sell during euphoria in a bull market, okay? In a bear market, it works differently, but we are currently in a bull market, and when you see fear, if you see big red candles, that opportunity is the best opportunity to start trading and getting into some of these assets. Now, so as you can see here, we took 90 days before we started to break out and set a new high after the cycle. Now, when you consider when it actually set an all-time high, guys, it's much later. So for Bitcoin last cycle, okay, before it actually set an all-time high, it was about 20K. It took, 217 days. So patience is necessary, guys, because life-changing gains don't happen overnight. They take time and they take patience and discipline. Let's check the previous cycle before that. So if I dive in here, guys, okay, and have a look. Let's have a look how long it took before it made a higher high, okay, after its cycle halving. So if we look here, it went all the way. There you go, guys, 160 days, okay? So in 2016, after that halving, it took 160 days before it made a new high. That's on a local time frame. Now, if we go and zoom out, how long did it take to make a new all-time high? Okay, so if we look here, guys, it didn't make a new all-time high until 240 days. What I'm talking to you about, guys, is patience, okay? Where we are currently today is obviously consolidation. Unlike the previous last two cycles and the previous two halvings, we obviously broke out earlier this cycle and essentially made all-time highs pre-halving. Now that's very bullish, but it also means that periods of consolidation around halvings and post-halvings is very expected and very healthy, guys, because you can't go up forever. Unless you start going up, coming down, going up, coming down, that is a healthy market. Bitcoin needed to consolidate, it needed to come down, and we're currently retesting some very key levels. So if we do take a look at this, guys, there's a few analytics and indicators here on my screen. So as you can see on the page here, this is a range. Now, traditionally, I like to long, okay, you could have longed all of these wicks down to the bottom of this range over the past 3 months and made a lot of money. Similarly, you could have shorted the top of this range and made a lot of money as well. And that's what we've been doing in my trading group. But right now, guys, is a really key indicator, okay? The 21 EMA, and that's marked by this yellow line here. Essentially, in Bitcoin's history, okay, it uses it in a bull market about 80% of the time as support. Now, the 20 other percent of the time, it does break and lead to a bit of a period where we drop down nice and hard, okay, and then we consolidate and then break buck above it in a bull market and then set a higher high. So right now, we're currently testing it on the weekly and on the daily. And as you can see, it's actually below it. So a lot relies on the next sort of day or two and the next week of price action. This must supported by a low volatility, okay? So this is a volatility indicator based on Bollinger Bands, etc., okay? And what we're looking at here is a very long period of time, okay, where we've had low volatility. So in theory, guys, if we get a bounce, so if we actually stop here, we get a bounce at this EMA, or we get a bounce at the bottom of this range, then this is likely a very volatile move back towards the top of the range, okay? However, if we struggle to hold this range, guys, so if we can't hold this 59K level all the way down to this wick at about 56K, then likely we break all the way back down to 48K, in my opinion, okay? That's where I'm looking at a likely target for Bitcoin, and you need to always position yourself to be aware of bear case scenarios and bull case scenarios. So if we do see an opportunity down here, guys, that screams long-term life-changing gains, okay? And that's what this video is all about, showing you an analytic perspective on how you can still make life-changing gains this cycle. Now, obviously, this is still a very good life-changing opportunity. We are currently down about 20%, guys, okay, from its all-time high. I easily see Bitcoin going to 100K, okay, if not 120K. Now, obviously, with that, it means that altcoins definitely follow that and follow suit. So if we take a look, guys, not only do we have Bitcoin starting to really make some fundamental change in terms of utility and adoption out there, we've seen Ethereum get approved for applications. Its application did get approved within all of these different hedge funds and companies to essentially start trading as an ETF. So that brings adoption, guys. We have huge bulls like Michael Saylor, okay, acquiring an immense amount of Bitcoin. So for me, guys, it's just honestly a no-brainer to DCA hard into these assets when you see red days like we're seeing right now. So what I want to do, guys, is essentially talk about why this is a fundamental opportunity for the next probably 10, 20 years, okay? And that's the time frame that you really do have to consider when you compare it to some of the dot-com era and the returns and then. So if we look here, we're seeing adoption worldwide, okay? We're seeing it in Australia, we're seeing it in Japan, Korea, the UK, Bitcoin, Canada, okay, was approved recently as well as an ETF, okay? And obviously the US has the most dominant ones because we've seen a lot of inflows in as well. So if we do take a look, there's still been a total amount of $14.5 billion into the Bitcoin ETF. So that's a lot of money, guys, okay? So step back, look at the fundamentals, and let's see how high we can seriously go. All right, so next thing that you need to really consider here, essentially what makes and separates Bitcoin, as I've already alluded to with gold, is that it's obviously a digital asset, okay? It has a finite supply, but the next best thing, guys, is that it's a store of value, okay? So in other words, okay, it actually outpaces inflation, it outpaces your interest that you can have in your savings account. So for me, someone who's been in this technology era in cryptocurrency for 8 years, use Bitcoin as my savings account because I know that it's going to outperform every other single market for the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years. And that's the mindset that you really have to take, because those are the life-changing gains that you can make, staying patient over a long period of time and accumulating your wealth over a long period of time. So for me, guys, what I like to use as an indicator, like I said before, always buy fear, always sell euphoria in a bull market. Use the crypto fear and greed index, guys. It's a very simple tool that allows you to stay ahead of the market and look for opportunities to take profits and look for opportunities to accumulate. Okay, and right now, okay, we're in the neutral zone, looking to head back towards fear. Okay, and we haven't been at fear. When was the last time we had fear, guys? Before we broke out in September last year. So that was October. So just for reference, guys, let's have a look where we were, okay? This was October here, okay? So we had August and October, and then September we started to move out, okay? So September here, bang, bang, bang. Look at that opportunity, okay? We moved up over 3x, guys, in that period of time. So right now, we're starting to see another period where we are giving an opportunity for people to step in and to make life-changing gains. So that's the last thing. Before we move on to the charts, guys, and I specifically talk about where I think assets can actually return you life-changing gains this cycle, you want to step on chain. Are the whales accumulating? And for the first time in years, guys, we saw a massive increase, not only in the ETFs, okay, and the money that's going into them, but we saw a massive increase in whales. So whales that hold over 1,000 Bitcoin start to increase their bag. So it's things, indicators like this that you really need to step back and look at as opportunities in this market. Now, if we break within this region here, guys, that screams opportunity, not only for this cycle, but for the next period of your life. So, obviously, everybody wants to know, Greeny, what are the best sort of assets to be holding moving into the next sort of year, even the next 6 months, okay, in this crypto cycle? Now, obviously, I'm a big bull on Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? They need to make up the majority of your portfolio in some form or shape. Solana has dominated the narratives this cycle. And of course, guys, like, it's no surprise that Solana is slowing down a little bit, okay? We saw an immense run up, okay? And as you can see here, I'm currently looking at it on several different time frames. But if we have a look here, if I just remove the EMA and hide a few things, Solana right now is already moving up, guys. So a lot of assets, okay, against Bitcoin are starting to actually hold up because they are oversold. So Solana remains my third pick, my top three, okay, one of my top three most performing assets, and I think it definitely has a lot left in it. If we dive a little bit deeper, guys, these are my other performing assets that I think have tremendous upside as altcoins within thriving ecosystems that I think definitely can make life-changing gains. And I'm talking things from probably as little as 3x, okay? And I think Solana, Bitcoin, and Ether definitely all 3x, if not way higher. Solana being on the more lucrative side in terms of ROI, return of investment, okay? But the altcoins are where you can significantly actively trade them essentially to maybe make some money on the side. So I always essentially, if I take profits, okay, I always put it back into Solana, Ethereum, or Bitcoin, because those are the three that this cycle will dominate and have dominated and will continue to dominate in the next year for life-changing gains. Now, obviously, within the Solana ecosystem, there's even more opportunities. So memecoins have been extremely lucrative. However, more recently, we've noticed that Bonk and WIF have been a lot bearish. So what did I do? I took all my profits and started to stack Solana, okay? And instead, I looked for opportunities elsewhere. And what we've noticed now is that Pepe and Mog, okay, the two top memes in my opinion, opinion, currently in crypto, okay, are on Ethereum. So always be open to being adaptable, guys, and trading multiple markets, because that way you can stay active, you can stay fluid, and you can stay liquid to capitalize on each shift of attention. So we've seen ordinals run, we've seen runes run, we've seen meme coins run on base, on Solana, we're seeing Blast having its day at the moment. So you want to be lucrative across all different markets. So being liquid, okay, is so important. So 80% of my portfolio sits in Bitcoin, Solana, or Ethereum. The rest of it I actively really trade to essentially capitalize and make more for my long-term bags. Within a small percentage, I hold all of these other altcoins that I'm just going to show you. So Pepe remains probably my second largest meme coin allocation. The first one has to be MOG, guys, okay? The chart, the meme, it screams value, okay? There's market makers stepping into this token. It's known on the normies, on the social media side as well, and on the timeline, it's one of the busiest communities that you will see remain consistent since its initiation or creation, let's call it, over a year ago now. So those two are the only memes that I'm holding long-term, MOG and Pepe. If we look at other opportunities, I recently wrote a Twitter thread around why AI remains one of the top potential sort of high upside plays in cryptocurrency. We've just seen Nvidia reach 3.32 trillion, okay, overtaking every other single asset in the world. So why doesn't crypto see a little bit of liquidity from that? So NEAR remains probably my highest allocation in AI, guys. Render is a very good play as well. If you're if you dive deep into the gaming world and the rendering side, and they use computing technology as AI integration as well, there are a lot of good plays here, but Akash remains another one that I am super bullish on longer term. Those are probably my top three, guys. Echelon Prime sort of falls under the gaming narrative, which I think will have its opportunity. I just think you're better trying to be a little bit more active with your approach to make life-changing gains, and then jump into the gaming tokens once that narrative really starts to take place, probably, I think, in 2025. So within that, obviously, the Solana ecosystem remains my top allocation. For altcoins, we've got Pith, we've got Jupiter, okay? Obviously, I think Radium is another very big bag that I've had for a very long time. All of these meme coin pools, guys, where are the liquidity pools stored? On Radium, okay? So you need to dive on chain and see the value there. There are other plays down here that could potentially be a runner. Something like Ponky could be a good meme coin, but for me, guys, right now, I'm only holding Pepe and only holding MOG long term. Outside that, guys, it's all about strategy, okay? So using on-chain analysis, using TA, okay, or if you don't know how to do this, guys, learn from people who can teach you how to become a better and smarter trader, and that's what we do in my alpha group, guys. Here's a little bit of insight, okay? This is our general chat today. We're talking about tax, as you can see here. We're talking about some opportunities. As you can see, I'm currently holding some longs, okay? I don't always win, okay? Nobody always wins 100% of the time, but what we do is that we have a range of different channels dedicated, okay, over on the side to different alpha and obviously different callers, and then obviously we have education down the bottom, and that way, guys, essentially, then Eric Crown is a go-to. Please watch his channel. Absolute, cannot rave about him enough. He's a sensational trader. But here, guys, I answer questions. I talk a little bit about liquidity. I talk a little bit about some of the top trading strategies that you can have, okay? As you can see here, this is PO3, okay? Video resources, investing, like in terms of where I read all this content. I've just downloaded some more books. So if you're keen to join, guys, if you're keen to jump on board and essentially become a smarter and better trader, guys, check out the wop.com link, because I teach you skills on how to become a better trader so that you don't have to rely on other people on the timeline. And the beautiful thing is that beside that education, we also have alpha callers and consistent profits that we've been locking in for nearly a year now. Okay, we're coming up on a year in a couple of months time, so it's been a super exciting time. Over 300 members in the group, so definitely check it out down below. But guys, this screams opportunity, okay? Whether we bounce from here or whether we head back down to the 40k region in Bitcoin, all of those altcoins that I just specified and Bitcoin itself are definitely life-changing gains and opportunities right now for the longer term. So stay focused, educate yourself on the market so that you can capitalize on it for life-changing opportunities in the coming years. Don't forget to leave me any feedback down below, guys. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you out. As always, thanks for watching the video. So there you have it, guys. Those are my reasons why this is your last chance to make generational wealth in cryptocurrency. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe down below. Don't forget to smash the like button as well because it helps me grow and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to check out my private alpha group, guys. We've been printing consistent profits. We've been analyzing the market like this, and I also focus on the educational side to teach you to become a better and smarter trader. So if you're keen to check that out, look at the wop.com link in the description below to sign up. As always, guys, take care and I'll see you in the next one.